How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lo4f, and today I'm going to go and do. It's a bit of a throwaway, simple mission, to be honest. I'll explain why in a minute. I kind of got forced to do this mission. It's called Abandoned Transport. It's pretty simple. I'm on the Albany River map. Just got to fly to kind of the other side of the map, grab a Scout 800 that's just kind of been abandoned, and then drop it off here, which is like just down the road from the garage, really. So I'm going to follow this southern road along, cut up the river so I can switch to this road. It just saves kind of looping around as much. Yeah, grab that, and then pretty much this is one of the missions I'm going to double back on myself, just because there's not really like going any other way. Sort of just seems needlessly long and drawn out just to go that way for the sake of it, really. Yeah, for this one, using Dolphin and Lo4f, I was going to put the Lo4f on the back, but he just drove all the way up onto the roof. And I was like, what a goddamn professional. So I packed him on the roof and we're off. I kind of had a feeling that I probably wouldn't make it all the way there in this configuration because, well, I mean, the Lo4f, as I said before, he's weightless unless he needs to add weight. But this ramped platform, towing platform thing I've got going on, when the back of it's up like this, it does actually make the weight, it shifts your centre of gravity quite a lot, so you do kind of flop around and boat around a bit, especially as you're bouncing on the bumps in like the ruts in the road going left to right. That thing kind of builds up quite a bit of momentum, really, kind of like a, I don't know, upside down pendulum, and it kind of wants to take you over with it, really. Yeah, tonight originally I was doing the, what's it called, cautiousness, the contract where you've got to take a load of stuff to the burned forest to a location where you can build a watchtower. By now I've already scanned the whole map, so that doesn't really matter, but one, it's a fairly big mission to kind of get stuck into. On the map there's quite a few things you've got to take there, 7 lots of cargo I think, and then 2 lots of short logs. But it's also just one I need ticked off the list so I can unlock missions further down the line, or contracts to be specific. Yeah, basically, long story short, this game, originally I've only been having troubles like with blue screening really happening on my mod playthrough, but in the last couple of missions and videos I've done, I've got the odd blue screen in my normal playthrough, and then tonight I got, I don't know, 10 odd blue screens. I stopped counting after about 6. Yeah, blue screen me. I set all the vehicles up, went to draw the line for like the route I was going to take, and then it blue screened me, and when I loaded it back up I had to buy all the vehicles again, rebuild them, set it all up again. I got blue screen trying to go through the gateways for a lot of it, so yeah, I had like a road train set up and I was splitting them into 2 separate sort of units at one point, and sending them to each gateway. The vehicles won't show up on the map, although I've deleted some stuff off, like vehicles and trailers and stuff I've left around on this map, and eventually I got them to reappear, so there does seem to be like a vehicle and trailer list limit, and once you go over it, it's like the vehicles just aren't appearing on the map, even though I'm in them, you know, and I'm driving them around and that. They are there, but they just don't appear. Yeah, as you can see, just quickly I rolled, so time for the Lo4f to do his magic. Good old Lo4f rescue, still got its 100% rescue record. So yeah, though that's like the way around like your vehicles not appearing on the actual map was like I deleted some stuff, but it's funny because then even things like all those trailers I've left on the Northport map, it's eventually seeming to like there is a sort of limit, and it's starting to go over it now, although I do feel like I've gone over the limit pretty quick on this map. That being said, when I did scroll through the list of vehicles and trailers I've got everywhere, there was more than I expected, so I don't know, but either way that still shouldn't really be happening. I'm kind of hoping, I've heard there's a patch coming that they're gonna, well, again, fingers crossed they'll fix the blue screening. The fact that I've now got blue screening happening on my normal playthrough, which I didn't for the first month or however long this phase has been out, maybe they're tweaking things behind the scenes. I remember like that's happened multiple times before, like a week or so before a update, they kind of, there's little things you notice, and there's usually like a little slight uptick in random little bugs happening. So I'm hoping that, even though it's obviously not good, because well, that's basically why I've ended up doing this mission tonight, because in the end I had to abandon doing the cautiousness contract because I did the first bit, I've kind of got the trucks head into each gateway and everything. But every time I try and travel through the gateway on this map, it just blue screens me halfway through loading up to Burn Forest. So yeah, like I said, it probably done it about 10 times. I stopped counting after 6. But that was it. I can't get over to Burn Forest at the minute to finish the mission, or the contract that I'm doing. So in the end, I was just to make a video, just to let you guys know really what that yeah, I keep getting blue screen issues now happening on my normal playthrough, which is kind of cocking things up quite a lot. I just can't really get the footage. And funnily enough, tonight as well, the first, was it the first time it blue screen didn't really matter because I was just kind of setting the video up. The second, third and fourth odd time it blue screened, I even kind of predicted, like, just in case it will, I'll save the footage. So thankfully I didn't really lose any footage, but it's going to be a hell of a lot more editing, and yeah, I just can't physically get to Burn Forest to actually finish the mission off. I kind of found what I reckon was a fairly decent way to do that contract in the end. Like, I've taken a road train, each one's got a short log add-on, because you need 2 lots of short logs, and then each one's got a ramped flatbed. So although I'm splitting them up in the end because the road trains can be a little bit slow, but for little bits of the journey I can do like them as one unit, and yeah, sort of get the mission done in one sweep. But yeah, the old blue screens put a stop to that. And then I've been a bit busy the last couple of days. My brother come over yesterday. Yeah, it was nice to see him, chill with him for a bit. That's why I didn't get a video done in the end. And then like the day before that, I just, yeah, again a bit busy. It was my granddad's birthday. I think, yeah, the day before yesterday. So he's 88. He's yeah, he seems pretty ill, but again, it's, you never know. He's definitely not well, but he keeps soldiering on, bless him. So yeah, but yeah, it was his 88th birthday, so pretty crazy. It's one of my lucky numbers, 88. It's the well, yeah, year I was born. Yeah, so for this mission, like I said, that's why I ended up just doing this. I had the Dolphin and Lo4f was already in the yard, just kind of parked up in the corner, and since I was deleting a lot of things off the map just to kind of help that situation, I just ended up using these. You can see there, yeah, Lo4f drives up onto the back of the that platform thing, and then he can just like bump his way up onto the roof. Goddamn professional. Get yourself a Lo4f. Yeah, obviously I took him along for fuel supplies, and then I just figured I'd take this, yeah, ramped towing platform, I think it's called. I might have actually remembered the name for once. This is kind of like the bigger version, so that one I used the other week when I recovered the Hummer was kind of like a smaller, I don't know, loading platform, and obviously the whole thing extends and turns into a ramp, whereas this one's got like the sort of beaver tail thing going on. It'd be nice if it was a little bit longer. That's what she said. Just cause, like, if you could fit 2 scouts on, and like, I mean, the nice thing about it though is, as you can see with like that beaver tail bit, I can leave it flat if I want. I could put it up vertical. You kind of leave it at any angle, and it still let me pack the scout, and it's like counting even though it's on a bit of an angle. So yeah, to be fair, it's pretty relaxed as far as that goes. It's not too moany for like not packing vehicles and stuff. But again, even with it at that angle, there just feels like there's quite a lot of weight in that sort of beaver tail section. That again, like, that's why preferably I like to kind of sit it low down like this if I can. It still feels like the whole platform in general, you know, is like just a big old heavy bit of weight, and obviously once you've got the vehicles packed on top. So it's yeah, you probably got to be a little bit careful with like not tipping. I decided, well, one, I've taken the Dolphin, which you can usually drop the hammer with that. But yeah, just kind of after hours tonight of keep trying to get the footage for doing that other cautiousness contract, and then it just keeps crashing, blue screening, loading it back up, etc, etc, tidying up the map a bit. Yeah, I just wanted to drop the hammer and get a mission done. I didn't really want to sort of tiptoe around and take my time too much. This little cutting across these 2 rivers though, just to switch roads, is actually pretty handy. I did it for a mission the other day, and yeah, they've made it so it's like, it's not a, I don't know, it almost feels like it is a route you're supposed to use, you know. Like, if they didn't want you to go that way, I reckon they would have made the river a lot deeper, just put massive rocks in the way, anything just to make it like awkward to the point it's not worth it. Whereas, yeah, it's actually pretty doable. Even if you had like a trailer and all that, it feels smooth enough and flat enough that you could make it. And yeah, like I said, it's quite handy switching because there's sort of two roads at the south of the map, but they're both handy. I'm on like what I'd call sort of the inner road on the south of the map. Yeah, the outer road. To be fair, I think this route is more tippy and can catch you out more. The lowest road that runs like right along the bottom of the map, that's actually not. It's quite a nice little drive, that one. But again, yeah, there's a bit of a lack of patience going on after messing around for so many hours. Dolphin just drives nice at this sort of speed anyway. Like I said, this is the old classic pair, Dolphin and Lo4f. Been getting the job done for a couple of years now. I think, was it here? Yeah. Started to lean over a bit, you could tell it was going, whereas normally like the Dolphin had, if anything, kind of lean its way back to its wheels, but just with all the added weight, sat quite high up, it wasn't having it, so it tipped me over. This, I can't remember what they call it, I just end up calling this a beaver tail thing, but yeah, it's quite handy to be honest. I mean, for example, like now, even though I didn't obviously plan on tipping, it's it saves having to crane stuff on and that. It's, yeah, it feels like you're sort of doing a proper recovery thing. It'd be nice if there was some kind of system where, I don't know, like when I pulled up to get this Scout 800, I cut a bit of it out in the editing, but I just kept yanking the Scout 800 around to try and line it up. Obviously, to load it on this platform, you can't drive the Scout 800 up in this case because it's like it's part of the mission, so it won't let you drive it. So you can be a little bit awkward trying to line it up. Obviously, in the end, I just, yeah, did that with the Lo4f. It rolled back a bit, but then I pulled it up with a winch just to line it up a bit better. But yeah, it'd be nice, I don't know, if you could clip a winch to it and then drive it maybe, just so you can jump in it at least and steer it properly onto the ramp and all the rest of it. But other than that, it's, well, get yourself a Lo4f. I mean, you can see there, it was probably quicker and easier and more simple just to tow it behind the Lo4f, drive up with the Lo4f, and it sort of follows it up, really. See, even at that angle, it still packs it as well, so it's pretty lenient. Probably pay a bit more attention to where I'm driving. Going across a narrow bridge, trying to get the old thumbnail shots on the go. Yeah, I was thinking though, with the blue screens I've been having, and obviously I've reached some kind of limit with the amount of vehicles and things on my map, so they're not all showing up. It could potentially make sense, but my mod playthrough's been crashing like since day one, and I haven't even had time to like uncover the map and spawn loads of vehicles on that. So if anything, they're at like opposite ends of the spectrum as far as like all the clutter on the map and everything. And I noticed it the other week when I was doing a gameplay and review that a vehicle wasn't showing up for me on Northport in Alaska, where I've got all those trailers from doing reviews from yeah, just where I do the trailer part. That'd kind of make sense. If anything, that's probably going to be the first map of mine that would hit like a vehicle and trailer limit. And but that's never blue screened me. And all the times I was doing like the testing on there, and I actually spent quite a bit of time on Northport in the end doing the gameplay and review. So yeah, I don't know. It's not blue screening it from there. But this one tonight, I travelled, I think it was like Erska River in the end, just to go and buy some different Russian vehicles. And then yeah, I don't know, as I've said before, travelling to different maps seems to encourage these blue screens. And it blue screened me the first time after that, but then obviously from then on I wasn't travelling anywhere. But when I was trying to travel through the gateway to Burn Forest, that's when it was crashing on me. And yeah, like I said, after about the 10th time I was like, well, it's clearly... Even as well, I cleared the map, deleted a load of stuff off the map, tried it again and it blue screened me, and then when it loaded back up, it obviously the last time it had saved was before I deleted loads of stuff, so I had to go around again and delete a load more stuff. It's yeah, deja vu all night tonight. And yeah, for this mission though, there's it's not too bad, just deliver it. It's kind of down the road from the garage. I used to have a Voron and a trailer just sat near that water tank, but I had to delete that one as well. Yeah, some random house. Like I say, it's a bit of a throwaway mission. Doesn't, it's not anything like important, but it's a good excuse to go for a little drive. Yeah, take this beaver tail platform thing out, which I don't use too often. It's funny though, because in the description there, the guy's just basically saying, yeah, thanks, I never thought I'd see that again. Thanks for helping, here's your reward. And he ends up giving you the Scout 800 and 5.5 grand. So it's like, why would you pay someone 5.5 grand to rescue a vehicle and then say, thanks for rescuing it, you can keep it and the money? The guy's just done himself out of 5.5 grand. If only more people did business like that, I'd be minted. Yeah, we're done though. Like I say, you get to keep the scouts. I suppose, strictly speaking, selling that, you'd actually make quite a good bit of money from this mission for not a lot of effort. Yeah, that's about it for today though. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Thanks to my Patreon members. Get yourself a loaf because he's a goddamn beast. And I'll be back soon if I can get the footage.